Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Happy Friday. I'm gonna plug you guys in. There we go. And maybe you won't die. Maybe you won't die on me, hopefully. I think my battery life's still good, so. All right, good morning, or afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Happy Friday, you guys. I'm going to do my best not to cough today. But it may or may not happen. So, today, if you guys... Hi, welcome. My name's Jenny Lynn Curry. If you're new to me, I know I have quite a few new followers, so welcome to the chaos. My name is Jenny Lynn Curry. I live here in Sumner, Washington with my husband, Ricky. We've got 5 kids. We've got 4 boys and a girl. They range from 19 to 5. We have Austin, Aiden, Gabby, Logan, and Noah. Noah's our 5-year-old. If you've been following along, my husband, Ricky, has now been in the ICU since the 8th. So if you're counting, that's 17 days. He is fighting COVID pneumonia. He did have multiple organ failure in the very beginning. We have since been able to bring his kidneys back into working order. We're still keeping a super strict eye on them, but he is no longer on the dialysis. So now it's just a matter of getting him off the vent because he is on a ventilator. He has been sedated for these last 17 days. So if you guys followed along yesterday, they did a breathing trial with him yesterday, and I was on the phone with him. He can't talk because he's got the tube down his throat, but he can hear me. And the nurses and the respiratory therapist yesterday was like, that he can hear you. He's saying, yes, he can hear you. And so he was awake and could hear what I was saying and what I was telling him, and taking really deep breaths. He was squeezing their hands and following their commands exactly the way he was supposed to. He is, however, so those were all praises. He's doing the things that he's supposed to do. And there's a couple of things that I'm like, I know that he will come home. I know that he will come home. The hard part for me is in the waiting, right? The waiting to figure out what we need to do and how we need to do it and what's the right way to proceed. So, if you've ever had anybody on a ventilator, the tube that goes down their throat's normally only normally only good for 2 to 3 weeks, and then they have to replace it. So if you're counting days, we're at 17 days on the vent. So we're in that 2 to 3 week range. So the conversation that I had with the doctor today is that Ricky's still running a fever, or running fevers. It's coming and going a little bit. If you saw, let's see, on Wednesday, he had a fever of 103.7, which was super, super scary. But then yesterday, his temperature stayed pretty fairly normal. And they've got him on 2 broad spectrum antibiotics to try and kill whatever the virus, or kill whatever the infection is that's trying to get to him. They did get some of the blood cultures back, and they don't see anything, nothing that needs to be treated any other way. And so his blood counts are stable. Anyway. So today the conversation was, he's still not strong enough. That's not the right way to say that. We need to give him more time. We need to give him more time to get stronger. That's the better way to say that. We need to give him more time to get stronger. He can breathe on his own, but it wears him out really fast. And if that's taking all of his energy, then he doesn't have any energy to recuperate. He doesn't have any energy to help his other organs come back online. He doesn't give him any energy to be able to do all of the other things that his body needs him to do. So the question posed to me today was, do we take out the vent, take him off the vent and put him on a trach, so he can get that tube out of his mouth, and we can take him off of sedation a little bit so that he can start doing some rehab and trying to get stronger, and getting him to the point where he can build up, he can build up to being completely unsupported and breathing on his own and doing all the things. So, as much as I thought that was going to be an easy decision, that's still super scary. I'm so ready for that stupid tube to be out of his mouth, but that was a really, it was a hard conversation. So, that's where we are. So I got off the phone, and I was so filled with peace this morning because I didn't catch the nurse's name yesterday when I talked to her, but his nurse's name is Mary. And I thought, oh God, you are literally sending angels to watch over my husband. You're literally sending your angels to provide for him and to care for him and to hold his hand and to tell him it's okay, because I can't be there. And so that gave me huge peace, because I was like, her name's Mary, for crime in Italy. So I talked to the doctor, and about 10 minutes later, Mary called me. And she said, I just wanted to give you an update on your husband. He's doing good. We're going to get that tube out today. And she was going on, and I said, Mary, I'm going to stop you right there. I said, because I just got off the phone with the doctor 10 minutes ago, and I'm going to give you some information he gave me. And she stopped, and she goes, oh, I've never gotten an update from the family before. I said, well, today I really wish you were giving me the update. I said, but I just talked to the doctor, and I should be getting a call from a surgeon at some point between now and the end of the weekend. And so I told her, and she was like, well, thanks for telling me. I'm going to change his meds. I'm going to take him off this sedation, put him on this other one. She's like, I'm okay, let's do this. And so, I just love her. She's so cute. We will be moving forward, with that. They need a surgeon to place a trach in his throat. So that's why they have to talk to the surgeon. The surgeon's going to have to be the one to place the trach. so that we can get the vent out. So, as much as that was a crappy phone call, it was also a good phone call, right? Because we all want the same thing. We all want him to get better and to get stronger and to come home. It's just not on our timeline, guys. It's not on our timeline, and I'm learning that the hard way. You know, I didn't pray for patience. I did not ask for patience, but God just threw that one in for free. So, but it's funny, you know, because we pray so much. God, give us this, grant us this, do this, do that, do this. He'll do it. But at the same time, he's like, have faith in me. Give me a little credit. You know, it's you pray and I will give what you ask for. I will give you. But you gotta be here. You gotta help me a little bit, right? You gotta give me a little patience. Give me the glory that I'm working so freaking hard. And so today I got off the phone with the doctor and I prayed and I was like, okay, now what are you telling me? What are you telling me now? And I opened up my Bible. You guys know I do the flippy thing. So I flipped it 3 times and I opened up to Mark 1, verse 29, and it says, Jesus heals many people. So if you read that verse, he's and all of them moving forward, he heals a man with leprosy, he heals a paralyzed man, he heals tons of people that were demon possessed and all of those things. And the thing he's telling me is Jesus heals. You just have to be patient. So I know that Ricky's gonna be just fine and he's gonna come home. And I know that God's with us, I think. And this is what I prayed this morning was, I know that he's working on him. I know that he is the mighty physician, and I know he will bring him home because he hasn't told me that I needed to prepare myself. He hasn't told me that I needed to change anything that I was doing. He's just told me to be patient and watch what he can do. So that's what I'm doing. And I prayed today that because everything is so crazy, they've got Ricky sedated most of the time, so he's sleeping. It's, you know, there's no noise in that room except for the beeping and the buzzing of machines. And he is restrained to the bed so that he doesn't pull at the tube. So I know my husband and I know what's going on in his head. And so I know that he needs Jesus to literally yell in his ear to let him know that he's okay and that he's going to be fine, and not to listen to the demons that I'm sure are trying so hard to get him to give up. And so that was my prayer today for Ricky, was that Jesus speaks so loudly that he drowns out the demons that I'm sure are speaking volumes, and Ricky's fighting them off every day. And I'm just praying that Jesus speaks so freaking loud that he cannot hear them. So that was my prayer today, because I'm sure he's scared. I'm sure he's struggling in his head all by himself, not being able to talk or vocalize what he's going through. Because my husband is a talker. You guys may not know it, but he is. So that's my prayer today. So anyway, I haven't done my devotion yet. So today's the 24th, and my devotion says, the plan. By faith, Abraham, when called to go to a place he would later receive as his inheritance, obeyed and went, even though he did not know where he was going. Hebrews 11:8. We all like to have a map laid out for us to see. Oh gosh, okay. We all like to have a map laid out for us to see every bend and every turn in the road. As Christians, we spend so much of our time searching for the will of God. Oftentimes, when it comes to the will of God, we can quite honestly just miss the point. I've missed the point a few times, right? Like, especially even just reading our devotions, I've completely missed the point reading it, and you guys are like, no, this is it. And I totally missed it. Let's see. We look for what God wants us to do, but we miss out on seeing who He is. We aren't always going to know where we're headed, but the heart of God is for us to know Him. Not to know every detail. Okay, I get it. Not to know every detail of the plan, not to know what someone else's story is, just to know Him for who He is. The closer you are to God, the more delighted in you He will be. And isn't that our longing, for God to delight in us? Jesus, help me abide in you so you can truly accomplish your perfect will in me. I come before you today stripped of questions and my need to know the plan. I just need to know you. Did I not just say that? Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. No crying. I hate crying, y'all. I freaking hate it. Makes my eyes hurt. Makes my face hurt. I don't like it. Ugh. Okay. This one is Ricky's devotion. So this is what Ricky would be reading if he was home. Scott Pelley's Beacon. I don't know. Let's see. You know when I sit and when I rise, you perceive my thoughts from afar. Psalms 139 verse 2. Veteran news reporter Scott Pelley never goes on assignment without his travel essentials, which includes an emergency locator beacon that works anywhere. You extend the antenna, push two buttons, and it sends a signal to a satellite connected to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. That's a mouthful. Pelley says, it tells them who and where I am depending on what country you're in. They'll either send a rescue team or not. Pelley has never needed to use the beacon, but he never travels without it. In our relationship with God, we don't need emergency beacons. No matter how precarious our situations become, He knows who and where we are. The psalmist wrote, "You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You are familiar with all my ways." We are never separated from God's care. We can say with confidence, if I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. The Lord knows all. We are always in His care. That was perfect for Ricky today. So that is, that's it, guys. So we are just praying that He speaks so loudly in Ricky's ear that he drowns out the devil and anything else that's happening in his head. And that the surgeon will call me and we will get the I'm saying temporary trach. I keep saying temporary trach. Temporary trach, because I have to remember it's only temporary. You know what? Everybody keeps telling me I need to read them to him, and I have not yet. I need to. We just get on the phone and just talk to him and love on him and tell him how much we love him and how much we miss him and how proud we are of him, and we just repeat it over and over and over and over again. I literally talk to him one-sided conversation because he can't talk back, but I literally talked to him for over 4 hours, and I swear it was, I love you. You're so strong. You're so brave. You're doing amazing. Just keep breathing. I'm so proud of you. I just kept saying it over and over and over again. So, anyway, I know that this is on his time frame. I know that I've got the fast food mentality, right? We've got the drive-through mentality of I pray, I get. I pray, I get. And this is not one of those times. This is not one of those seasons. This is going to be hard. Strap in the car and just hold on kind of situations. And I was reading something the other day, and it said, when you want to get from point A to point B, you get in the car, you put your seatbelt on, and you drive. You wouldn't get out of the car halfway between point A and point B just because you were tired of waiting. You wouldn't get out of the car just because you weren't there yet, right? I mean, you might have to stop for gas and stretch your legs, but you're not going to stop driving if point B is your destination. And bringing Ricky home healthy is the destination. We're not stopping in between. I don't need gas. I'm good. The tank is full. So I just have to stay in the freaking car and keep my seatbelt on. So that's what I'm doing. I'm like triple belted in the car, and I'm holding on for dear life. Because the driver of this car needs his license revoked at this point in time. Anyway, that's probably me. I'm probably that driver. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it's just, that's where I'm at. So, we're just praying that they can, get the surgeon to do the surgery today, get that vent out and the trach in, and that Ricky stays calm, and that his heart stays strong, and that we can get him stronger and stronger by giving him a little bit more time. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate every single last comment, every single last message, every single last prayer. I mean, I appreciate it all, and you will never know how much. There's just not words. So I love you all. I appreciate you all, and I will update you guys again later. I mean, if they get the trach in today and we can get him off the vent, I will let you guys know. Just depends on the surgeon. They do have him on heparin. So once the surgery is scheduled, they'll have to take him off the heparin for 6 to 8 hours. So my guess is it won't happen today. It will probably happen tomorrow or Sunday. But it's up to God. It's up to God, not me. So, that's where we're at, guys. So I love you. I appreciate you so much. Keep praying, because I know God's hearing them, and I will update you guys as soon as I know more. All right. Bye, guys.